organized. They actually had the numbers on the top left corner. So scale ticket 476264040. I went ahead and scaled this load, and I had 3/4 of a tank of fuel in the tank. So roughly you're looking at 100 gallons on each side. Blah, blah, blah. You guys do the math. But anyways, steers. My max is 12,500, so I was at 12,040. My drive axle, I said that wrong. My drive axle was the one that went all crazy. 36180. Man. Trailer axle, my rears, 3620. My gross weight was 78,840 pounds. And that means I'm about a couple tons away from being gross. So right then and there I knew I had to slide the tandems forward. I was already at the max for California bridge law, because this was going into California. So I knew right off the bat I had to slide the tandems forward. So after that I slid it a little bit. And my next one, 11,900 on steers, still over on my drive axles, 35,460. My trailer picked up a little bit of weight, 31,480, still at my gross weight. Okay, I'll just redo it again. By then I knew by the second time, if I just slid it a little bit forward, it wouldn't be too bad. I didn't want to slide the tandems all the way forward and be afraid that might be overweight on the rear. So I reweighed it again, slid the tandems forward. Oh. By this time, 11,860. I thought I had it. Drive axle, 34,500. I was 500 over from the limit. 32,480 on my trailer. So gross weight's still the same. I was 500 pounds off on my drives. So I was like, okay, one more hole, I'm good. So I go back on scale. The thing is, I don't have to pay for the scale tickets. That's the deal. Now check this out. 11,860 on my steers, 34,220 on my drives, 32,780 on my trailer axle. Somehow I picked up 20 pounds on my gross weight. That's a little strange, don't you think? But anyways, I was like, okay, whatever. Now I'm thinking to myself, what am I gonna do? So I reported it to my DBL, and I sent the macro in through my Qualcomm saying I was overweight. First response is go back to the customer, take off some weight. But the thing is, they load up so heavy on the front, they would have to reload the whole trailer just to get it legalized. So I'm thinking to myself, there's something that I could do with this truck. Now the deal is, my other truck, I didn't know I could slide the fifth wheel. With this truck, I knew that I didn't know I could slide the fifth wheel, but it was right here. Usually it's your trailer disconnect, which is like a replacement for the trolley brake on older trucks. Then I had my differential lock, but there's this third switch here I never really looked at, and that was the fifth wheel slider. Now, I went ahead and tried to mess around with it a little bit, but the thing is, the fifth wheel would not move. Now, when you have that much weight in the back, the fifth wheel is not going to move that much. So I messed around with the clutch a little bit, and it made the most horrifying sound I never heard before. It was like a slam. I thought I slammed into the back of a big boom, and it was metal on metal, and I'm like, oh, I just broke my truck, you know. I'm thinking the fifth wheel's hanging off on the side in the back of the truck. I'm like, oh no. Sure enough, the fifth wheel moved, and it wasn't broken. So I went ahead and reweighed the truck. Now I'm 80 pounds over the limit on my steers. My drive axle, I'm 500 pounds off from the limit. Trailer weighed out to 32,720, and somehow I lost 40 pounds from my previous gross weight, which was 78840, and now it's 78800. So that scale was either messed up or jacked up, or I just got on it too much and broke it. So after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to save people time, I'm going to save people money, I'm going to save fuel from going back and forth to the shipper. I'm just going to try to burn off the fuel. And the next scale in is at the port of entry in California. So I went ahead and drove, I think it was 100 plus miles. It was a good length. And I stopped at Lake Havasu and reweighed the truck. 12,400 on steers, 33,400 on the drives, 32,860 on my trailer axle. So somehow I gained several hundred pounds on my trailer axle. My drive axle lost 100 pounds, steer axle lost 180 pounds. And I think the reason why my rears started gaining weight is that the tandems were slid so forward. I had them on the first hole of the rack in the back. That once I started losing weight up front, the trailer started slowly going like this, like pulling up on the fifth wheel, and all the weight started transferring onto the back of the truck. So the weight that was balancing out before was burning off, which was the fuel. So that's how I believe the differentials and the weight factored out. So let's count that. I rescaled the truck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I paid for 2 of these reweigh, or 2 of these scale tickets. The first reweigh is $10, and from there on it's $2 each. The company paid for most of them. I paid for about 2 of them just because I was getting insecure and I wanted to pay for it myself. The last one at Lake Havasu I paid for myself because I was just curious. But other than that, that was on the 15th of January. I don't think I ever scaled that much in my whole career, several months so far, but that was a good exercise. So I'm not sure if you guys have any stories of scaling, but that was definitely one of my stories right there. And yeah, and my truck is idling really long. I don't even have the thing switched up. I parked the truck and it's just sitting here. Battery's dead. The auxiliary batteries were dead this morning, so maybe it's just trying to recharge them. I don't know. It's way above 20 degrees, which is the cutoff. It's 87 degrees. I'm just gonna let it keep running. Anyways, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and let these batteries charge before I shut it off. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.